In a nature-filled city, a couple's simple life gets a magical boost with a surprise gift. But envy and sadness strike, turning their daughter into a banana tree ghost named Tani, a guardian of the banana forest. Join Tani's journey of love, payback, and strength in this short, enchanting tale of nature's magic.
Hundreds of years ago, there was a city which was rich in nature. Rice and fish were available all year round. In this city there was a mountain, and a couple was living at the foot of this mountain. This couple had been living together for nearly 30 years, but sadly they don't have any children. Every day, this husband and wife venture into the forest to gather items, which they then sell at the market. They are kind-hearted individuals who have always approached their forest activities with a strong sense of morality. They have never been overly greedy, always nurturing the forest to ensure its continued abundance. The lords of the forest and mountains were greatly loved and adored by this couple for their respectful ways. One day, the gods decided to reward them by gifting a multitude of mushrooms that covered the entire forest. A couple passing by was overjoyed to see this abundance and quickly started collecting mushrooms to sell. Despite the plentiful mushrooms, they only took what they needed, ensuring the preservation of the forest. After collecting the mushrooms, they also took care to repair the surroundings, allowing the mushrooms to grow again. Once their mushroom collection was complete, the couple strolled through a pond in the heart of the forest, where Ganga, the river goddess, had blessed the waters with numerous small and large fish. Upon seeing this, the couple eagerly went in to catch the fish, choosing only the fully grown ones. They made a conscious effort to release the small fish and mother fish with eggs back into the pond, allowing them to grow and reproduce. The couple felt incredibly fortunate, having gathered a basket full of mushrooms and a bunch of fish. Overwhelmed with joy, they decided to head home earlier than usual. On their way, they discovered a colossal banana tree, unlike any they had seen before. This remarkable tree bore numerous fruits and blossoms, filling the air with a delightful fragrance. Yes, it is a gift from the Lord of the Forest. As they excitedly explored the area, a banana blossom suddenly dropped to the ground with a loud thud. The husband and wife wasted no time and quickly gathered the banana blossoms, hoping to use them for cooking. Among them was a blossom so large that the two had to collaborate to lift it off the ground. However, as soon as they held the blossom, a magical transformation occurred. It turned into a cute baby girl with a golden yellow body resembling the peel of a ripe banana. Her lips were as red as a banana blossom. The couple immediately felt love and affection for this child, bowing down in gratitude to the Lord of the Forest for blessing them with a daughter. They named her Mala, and, even though they didn't have a lot, they took care of her with all their love and did everything they could to make her happy and healthy. As the years passed, Mala grew into a young woman, a beauty in every sense, radiating innocence and charm. Word spread throughout the city about Mala's beauty, attracting young men from many villages who sought her hand in marriage. However, none could capture her heart. Until one day, Thongdi, an orphan living with a wealthy elderly grandmother in the village, entered the scene. This grandmother had a passion for magic, particularly black magic, and rumors circulated that she became rich through these mysterious practices. Thongdi was curious about stories describing how beautiful Mala was. So he came up with a plan. He told the old grandmother that he was going fishing but, in reality, headed to the foot of the mountain to secretly observe Mala at her home. Seeing Mala in person, Thongdi immediately fell in love. To win her over, Thongdi started doing sweet things every day, giving her various lovely flowers. Gradually, Mala became kinder and started to feel the same way. She gave him her heart and accepted the gifts he offered. Without their parents knowing, they chose to be a couple. One day, the wealthy old grandmother noticed that Thongdi went fishing every day but never brought home any fish. Suspicious, she followed him and discovered the truth. Thongdi was never go for fishing, but he's secretly meeting Mala. The wealthy grandmother, displeased that her grandson was involved with a poor woman. So she stopped Thongdi from contacting Mala and insisted that he marry Soy, the daughter of another wealthy man. This left Mala heartbroken, and she spent her days and nights crying for Thongdi. However, the wealthy old grandmother was still unsatisfied. Recognizing Mala's beauty despite her poverty, the old woman hatched an evil plan to take Mala's beauty for herself. She approached her, promising to allow her to be with Thongdi again if she made a vow of love in front of the Lord of the Forest at the mountain cliff. Trusting the old woman's words, Mala agreed to do everything as instructed. She went to the cliff, with folded hands, began to make her vow. Seizing the opportunity, the old woman pushed Mala into the abyss, chanting a magic spell to steal Mala's beauty as her own. She then hastily ran away from the village. After Mala vanished, her parents searched everywhere until they discovered her lifeless body beside the very banana tree that had given birth to her. Overwhelmed with grief, the parents buried their daughter beneath that tree, with the tears on their faces. Feeling the sorrow of her parents, Mala's spirit transformed into a ghost, residing within the banana tree. From then, she adopted the name Tani and took on the responsibility of caring for her grieving parents. On the other hand, even after Thongdi had married, he also dedicated himself to supporting Mala's parents and taking care of Tani's banana tree. Despite the tragic loss, the once solitary banana tree flourished into a banana forest, providing fruit for the entire village. Villagers frequently witnessed a beautiful young woman, dressed in a green Thai traditional dress, strolling through the banana grove. People who came across Tani were believed to have good fortune in love. But those who tricked or hurt their loved ones faced a different outcome. Tani would haunt them, making them feel scared and guilty for the harm they caused to those they cared about. Tani's spirit kept helping and looking after her parents until they passed away. And Thongdi stayed committed to taking care of Tani's banana tree even after he lived with Soy. They had a daughter named Pakathong. As she grew up, she became a beautiful young woman who looked a lot like Mala. A plague spread in the village, and sadly, Thongdi and Soy fell ill and passed away. Before Thongdi died, he asked Tani's spirit to take care and protect his daughter. Even though Pakathong wasn't Tani's biological child, she loved and looked after her like she was her own. Tani watched over Pakathong from a distance. As Pakathong matured, she fell in love with Phop, a handsome and charismatic man from the village who courted her daily. However, Pakathong later discovered that Phop already had many wives. Feeling heartbroken, she found comfort near the Tani tree. And there, she made a vow that she will never fall in love again. Angry upon learning of Pakathong's pain, Tani wanted to make a revenge for her, so she haunted Phop, causing him to fall ill. In response, Phop, fueled by anger and confusion, he chopped off all the banana leaves from the Tani tree. This caused Tani significant pain, so she used her last bit of power to curse Phop and turn him into her monkey servant. Phop disappeared, and the villagers believed that Pakathong used black magic to harm him. So, they forced her to leave the village, leaving her with no choice but to pack her belongings and bid farewell to the Tani tree. While leaving, she witnessed a lady in a green Thai traditional dress emerging from the tree. It was Tani. Tani came out to bless Pakathong and said, "Whenever you're hungry, just find a banana tree, pluck the leaf, and it will turn into food." After leaving the village, Pakathong recalled Tani's blessing. Following her advice, she managed to survive even though she was on her own. One night, a royal astrologer discovered Pakathong in the forest. Despite her messy appearance, the astrologer saw her beauty and learned about her fate. He believed Pakathong would be the future ruler's wife. So, he took her to the palace, where she freshened up and put on gorgeous clothes. Her beauty now sparkled even more than it did before. The royal astrologer assigned Pakathong to work in the medicine room of the royal palace in a city named Patan Nakhon. It was a calm and peaceful place, but a strange story unfolded. The king married a beautiful young woman and made her his mistress, but soon both the queen and the king fell ill and passed away. Now, the city was under the control of the beautiful lady, and the heir to the throne, Prince Panta, who is now ill. Pakathong had the chance to offer medicine to the prince, and each time she did, the prince became fond of her. He sends her flowers daily, and surprisingly, the prince's health seemed to improve with each passing day. Prince Panta expressed his desire to marry Pakathong, but she hesitated due to her commitment to never fall in love again. Poor girl, she is still haunted by the pain of her past love. Despite Pakathong's reservations, the prince continued his efforts to win her heart. Eventually, she started feeling something for the prince, but her promise to Tani held her back. One night, the prince had a strange dream. He dreamed that he was sleeping beneath a huge banana tree in the forest, with various flowers falling from the tree, but none reaching the ground. The next morning, the prince decided to search for the banana tree from his dream. He took his men to the forest to find the Tani banana tree, but they couldn't find it. At noon, they stopped by the river to eat, and as the prince was about to unwrap his food, a monkey suddenly snatched it away. The prince chased the monkey, and his men followed. They followed the monkey until they reached a giant banana tree, identical to the one from the prince's dream. Sitting under the tree, the prince started telling the story of his one-sided love between him and Pakithong. Sensing the prince's true love for Pakithong, Tani appeared and instructed him to cut out the banana leaves and present them to her. Following Tani's guidance, the prince returned to the palace with the banana leaves. He handed them to Pakithong, and the moment she touched it, they transformed into beautiful clothes. Tani's voice affirmed the prince's sincere love for Pakithong, encouraging her to open her heart to him. Overjoyed, the prince expressed his desire to marry Pakithong. He took her to meet his stepmother, who was now ruling the city. When Pakithong saw her, she was extremely shocked. The queen looked exactly like Tani. Of course, she was actually the rich old grandmother who had used black magic to steal Tani's beauty, leading to her death. The queen strongly disapproved of Pakithong because she was an orphan and she kept treating her badly, both physically and mentally. However, Prince Panta still wanted to marry Pakithong. When Tani's ghost found out about Pakithong's troubles and figured out that the one causing her pain was the old grandmother, she came up with a plan for payback. In a dream, she told Prince Panta to move her banana tree into the royal garden. On that night, the queen entered the garden, and the moment she saw the banana tree, she recognized the presence of an evil spirit within it. The queen shouted and called people to cut down the tree, but before they could do anything, Tani Ghost appeared. Terrified, people ran away as Tani wrapped the queen in banana leaves. Suddenly, the queen aged quickly, turned into a very old woman before disintegrating into ashes, carried away by the wind. After the evil queen was gone, Prince Panta took charge of the city again. He made Pakithong his only wife. And Pakithong moved the Tani tree back to where it belonged and kept looking after the banana tree until her last breath. Even though Tani didn't haunt anyone anymore, her story lived on through the tales people shared.